Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are looking at ZD Films knockoffs and we are gonna rank them. We are gonna rank the best and the worst ZD Films knockoffs. As you can see, I have a lot of channels over here and I'm gonna rank them all in this, like, you know, tier list stuff. Alright, I have the tier list here. So, as you all can see, I have a lot of channels over here, a lot of ZD Films knockoffs. I'm gonna rank them in this ranked stuff. And you can see if it's bad, it's gonna be F. If it's so trash, I will just put it in trash, even worse than F. If it is like a really good ZD Films level, we will do it in S, alright? So let's start with the first one. The first one is Cube Films. I've never saw this channel before. This is the first time I'm gonna look at it, so let's watch. I wanna watch like 2 or 3 videos from each channel.
He was swimming with his daughter in open water when a pod of dolphins suddenly surrounded them. Every time he tried to swim away, the dolphins gently pushed them back to the center. It felt strange,
Bro, I thought dolphins were friendly.
almost like they were being trapped. Then the reason became clear. As you see, just beneath the surface, a nearly 3-meter great white shark was circling.
Yo.
The dolphins formed a living shield, slapping the water and blocking the predator from every angle. For nearly 40 minutes, they refused to move until the shark finally disappeared, and only then did the dolphins let them swim away.
Dang, that is actually did this really happen, bro? That is crazy, man. That is crazy. W dolphins, bro. Bro, shut up, man. My rooster is getting wild in the back. There is no music, but I mean, it's pretty interesting, you know?
A man shocked an entire town by walking his pet alligator on a leash. At first, people froze in fear, thinking
that's the craziest pet ever, bro.
the massive reptile was about to attack someone. But instead of acting aggressive, the alligator calmly stayed by his owner's side like a well-trained dog.
That's
The
crazy.
incredible story began years earlier when a family found a baby alligator that had been kept illegally. They gave it to an experienced reptile keeper who decided to raise it himself and named it Whaley. Day after day, he patiently handled, fed, and socialized the young alligator, building a level of trust that took years to earn. As Whaley grew larger, he remained surprisingly gentle around his owner, eventually becoming comfortable wearing a leash and joining him on walks through town. Wildlife experts say Whaley is an extremely rare exception, and no one should ever try to approach or keep a wild alligator as a pet.
Oh. Yo, that is cute, man. That's cute. That's actually great. That is great. I kind of like this channel, not gonna lie. I'm gonna put it on A, but it's pretty good. Alright, simply how. Let's look at this. Why you fall asleep while you sleep. Wait. Alright, I want to see that, bro. Why does he look like Gianni Infantino from like the FIFA stuff?
If you go to sleep and suddenly feel like you're falling, there's actually a reason
I've had this a few times, bro.
for this. It's called hypnic jerk, and it happens when you're about to fall asleep. During this process, your brain can sometimes misinterpret your muscles relaxing as a sign that you're actually falling. In response, it sends a burst of energy to your muscles to try and catch yourself, leading to your body twitching and suddenly waking up.
Alright, this was, I didn't understand that. Probably if I watch 2 times I will understand, but I don't care, we watch further.
When you work out, you are actually tearing your muscles on a microscopic level. But don't worry, because your body releases protein strands in order to repair the damage, leading for them to actually grow.
So I'm gonna put this in B. And you can't entertain. Alright, let's look at this. This is like an old man, I guess. This is an old man. Alright, let's look at the most famous popular video.
If you walk into the gym and see someone on the treadmill, which machine do you choose?
I always see that, bro. I would choose the 3rd or the 4th one. Probably.
If you pick the one on the far edge, you look like you're avoiding them. But if you pick the
Yeah, I am avoiding them.
one right next to them, they'll think you're starting a race, instantly turning a normal—
Bro, nobody thinks like that, man. Nobody thinks like that. Everyone is on their own life, bro. They're all focused on their own path. Nobody is like thinking like that. Come on.
Normal workout into an accidental Olympic event. The right choice to keep everything normal is to leave one treadmill gap.
What happened? One gap. I always do one gap. I don't want to like be next to people. I don't know why.
If you accidentally step on a landmine, this simple trick could save your life. Most people panic and try to run to escape the blast. But the moment your foot lifts, it will trigger instantly. Your best chance is to stay calm.
Why is he crying like a baby, bro?
Then place something heavy, like a backpack or a rock, directly on the trigger. It's not a guarantee, but sometimes it's enough to
Yo, bro, this kind of like reminds me of Zack films, bro. I don't like that guy. Alright, I'm gonna rank this guy another B tier. I mean, like, it's okay. Then covering Y, W, H, I. What are these names? I saw this
trapped in a room with walls closing. First, look for
He
any
sounds like Zack D films, I'm not gonna lie.
red button you can find. Oh, bro. This might be your way out. If you don't find one, try to push the wall by putting your foot on the other wall.
Yeah, why is he making that noises, bro?
Wall's movement system. Jam the walls with anything solid you can find.
How are we gonna find the pipe in a closing room, bro? Come on.
And if all else fails, pray that this isn't from a Saw movie, then climb above to look for any overhead piping system and try to fit in.
Alright, that's great, but I mean, what if there's no cabinet, no pipe, no solid stuff? What if there's nothing, bro? What are we gonna do then? Alright, I'm gonna look at this latest video.
The girl in black dress wanted to introduce her best friend to her boyfriend.
Why is there playing a Sigma music in the background, bro?
Her friend became nervous as she told her to call her
boyfriend, brother-in-law.
but she hesitantly said,
No, I can't call him that.
What is this for goofy Roblox edit, bro?
Get angry.
Then the girl in black dress started to tell her boyfriend
Her brother is ugly and useless who does nothing.
Why is it moving so much, bro? My eyes are like... this was kinda mid, though. I'm not gonna give F, maybe, but... C. So it's kind of mid. Cube dimensions. I can see Minecraft dirt on here. Could be something related with Minecraft, and I can see this is something related with Minecraft. I think it's like the Zack D films from Minecraft. Let's look.
If someone fired a bullet at a deer, then you accidentally showed up to hit it with a car, you might think that you're supposed to leave it there. But if you call the police in some states, the authorities can euthanize the animal if it's still alive, and can hand you a salvage tag giving you the right to take the deer. However, if the hunter fired a shot and it died immediately, they are given ownership of the animal. But if the deer survived the gunshot, your car would have been its cause of death, giving you the right to the game. If someone fired a bullet If you're eating dinner with a Chinese family and you suspect one of the guests really isn't Chinese, even if his Mandarin is perfect, there's a simple way to find out. All you do is order a whole fish. Now, when one side is eaten, watch closely. A real Chinese person will reach under the bones and pull the meat out from the bottom. They will never flip that fish over. Because in China, flipping a fish means flipping a boat. Fishermen pass this belief down for generations. But the outsider won't know that. He'll just grab it and turn it over like it's nothing. And the moment he does, every person at that table knows.
Yo, why did he shoot it? This is ketchup. This is, I mean, this is like Zack D films from Minecraft. I mean, I like the concept. I'm gonna give it an A. So Tony 3D. This kind of looks good. I mean, if I look at this, let's look at its most popular because I don't know.
Never push your pawn if you don't know this simple rule. First, draw a line that ends on the promotion rank.
I love chess.
If the king is on the left, then build the same line on the left and connect them to form a large square. If the enemy king is inside this square, he can stop the pawn from becoming a queen. But if the king is outside, he won't have enough time to stop you. So, can the king stop the pawn in this position? This is actually a trick question, because if white moves first, the king is not inside the square. But if black moves first, then use a German sticky.
Okay, bro. You don't have to be Zack D films. I mean, Zack films, bro.
What if chess?
Is Zack films like a knockoff from Zack D films and this guy a knockoff from Zack films? Why is this? This is always chess. What is this?
What if chess was crushed in half? First, pawns would be able to capture on the first move, taking up space in no time. But wait, isn't it better to start with this?
Alright, this is only about chess and it's like kind of I'm gonna give it an F. I don't like it. Afri Max English. Yo, this looks cinematic, bro. This banners. This should be good. This should be fire. Alright, never to trust too quickly. Yo, this looks epic.
Two speeding cars collided heavily.
Yo.
Both cars were completely damaged. A few moments later, a beautiful young woman stepped out of one car, unharmed. On the other side, a man slowly climbed out too, not even a scratch. The woman walked closer, looked into his eyes softly and said, "Look at our cars, completely destroyed. And yet, we don't even have a single scratch. This must be a sign from God, a sign for us to meet, to know each other, maybe even become friends for the rest of our lives." The man swallowed his anger instantly, mesmerized by her beauty. Oh yes, I completely agree. This is definitely a sign from God. Then the woman bent slightly toward her wrecked car and suddenly gasped, "Look, another miracle. My car is destroyed, but this bottle didn't even break. Surely God wants us to drink and celebrate our good
what's
fortune."
gonna happen?
The man
What's
was
gonna
stunned.
happen?
Without hesitation, he uncorked the bottle, made a toast, then drank nearly half of it. Satisfied, he handed the bottle back to her. But instead of drinking, the woman calmly closed the cap. The man,
Nah, is it poison?
"Aren't you going to drink?" The woman gently patted his shoulder and smiled. "No, I'd rather wait for the traffic police and the breathalyzer test."
Yo. 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 That is... Yo. That is so dirty. That is so dirty, bro. That's why I don't drink, bro. That is just stupid. Yo, that is actually crazy, bro. Alright, let's look further.
She called the flight attendant. "I can't sit next to this man." The cabin went quiet. The flight attendant nodded politely. "Okay, ma'am. Let me see what I can do." Minutes passed. Passengers whispered. Some stared. Then the attendant returned. "Madam, there are no more seats in economy, but I'll check with the captain." More waiting. Tension grew. Then, 10 minutes later, she came back. The captain confirmed there are no seats in economy, but...
Bro, look at her, bro. She looks like a Karen, bro. Literally.
But there is one seat available in first class. The attendant continued.
Wait, why? Because this man is black? I mean, that is so stupid. Bro, she looks like
It is
Karen,
not our
you
policy
know.
to move someone from economy to first class, but considering the situation, the captain...
Let me guess. He's gonna bring the black man to like the first class.
agreed. The woman began to smile. She straightened, ready. Before she could speak,
like
the attendant
witch.
turned and looked at the black man beside her. "Therefore, sir, if you would kindly collect your belongings, we would be pleased to transfer you to first class. The captain does not wish for you to sit next to an unpleasant person." For a moment, silence. Then suddenly, passengers nearby began to applaud, and some even gave a standing ovation.
That is crazy, bro. I mean, she turned her son into genius. Let's.
One day, a young boy came home from school.
Yo,
He
lil
handed a
bro.
folded
That's
paper
lil bro.
said, "Mom, my teacher gave this to me and said only you should read it." His mother opened the letter. She read it silently, and then
his mother looks
tears
scary,
filled
bro.
her eyes. The boy asked, "Mom, why are you crying? What does it say?" She smiled and replied, "Your teacher says you are a genius. This school is too small for you, and they don't have teachers smart enough to help you.
Aura.
So from now on,
Pure aura."
From that day on, the boy studied hard. His mother became his teacher. Years passed. His mother passed away. 20 years later, the boy had become a great man. One day, while looking through old family things, he found a folded piece of paper in the corner of a desk drawer.
Oh,
It was
it's
the
gonna be
same
from his
letter.
mom.
He opened it, and this is what it really said. "Your son is addled. He is mentally slow. He cannot think clearly. Do not let him come to school anymore."
Yo.
Then he wrote in his diary, "Thomas Alva Edison was once an addled child, but because of a hero mother, he became the genius of the century. Because sometimes, all it takes is one person who believes in you. One day..."
Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, that's true. Always believe in yourself. That's crazy. That is actually crazy, bro. W mom. I also was thinking like, why is he mom teaching him? I mean, Shouldn't it be like a professor or something? I like this channel. It deserves an S. It's also cinematic, pretty good quality. W's. Next channel is his story.
My twin brother Chris and I were 9 when we learned Morse code. We tapped messages under the dinner table when Mom told us to stop talking and tapped through the wall between our bedrooms every night. When Chris got into a car accident and the doctor said he'd never wake up, I pulled up a chair next to his bed, took his hand, and tapped. Are you there? Nothing. But I came back the next afternoon and tapped again. Before I left, I always said the
same. Why is it so much moving, bro?
See you tomorrow, Chris. A week later, Chris's fingers twitched against mine, and I almost fell out of my chair. I grabbed a nurse, and she barely looked up. They're reflexes. It doesn't mean anything. I bought a notebook the next day and started writing down every single one. 4 months in, Mom watched me scribbling and said, "How long are you gonna keep doing this? Until he taps back." He's not gonna tap back. You're talking to a corpse. Dad lasted a few more months before he pulled me into the hallway. We need to talk about donating your brother's organs. His fingers move every time I hold his hand, Dad. The nurses said those are reflexes. Stop getting your hopes up, son. I don't care what the nurses say. You're not donating my brother's organs. But a week later, my parents called to have Chris transferred to a long-term facility to die and scheduled a meeting to sign the papers. The afternoon before the meeting, I tapped into his palm like always, but this time, something tapped back. Short, short, short. Long, long, long. Short, short, short.
Yo, that means SOS.
SOS. I grabbed his hand. Chris, if that's you, squeeze once. He squeezed so hard my knuckles cracked. I stormed into the meeting room and told them my brother just responded to me. The caseworker said, "This is very common with families who aren't ready to let go." My parents nodded. I grabbed the transfer papers off the table. "You're not signing anything until you can see for yourself." I walked them to Chris's bed and grabbed his hand. "Ask him anything." The caseworker asked what year it was. Chris squeezed out the answer. Count to 5. 5 perfect squeezes. His mother's name, tapped out letter by letter. By the 10th question, she said, "He's still alive. We can't move him." Weeks later, I asked Chris what kept him fighting when everyone gave up. Heard Mom call me a corpse. Heard Dad say donate my organs. Heard all of them leave, except you. I asked why. I wanted to see you too.
Dang. W brother, and brother. His story, I mean it's not bad. I can low-key place him on A. And then look who we have here. I should not even watching one video of him, bro. I'm not even gonna watch Zack films. Get the heck out of here. And this is my ranking, guys. What are you thinking about it? If you guys like this, I will maybe make like a part 2, if that's possible. I don't know. Subscribe and hype the video, because why not?